fellow Romanian history lovers. My name is Julia Manicucci and I'm a Brazilian living in Romania. Today, I came here to talk about the rich and gorgeous Romanian history. And you guys know I am not a historian, but I studied a lot, and I brought you some very interesting facts that you should know. Of course, you are welcome to correct me if I misunderstood anything. I learned a lot with your guys' insights, and I think it's a very interesting, very important exchange of information that we have here. So yes, please leave your insights down below. Let me know if I forget to say anything or if I said something that you don't agree. That being said, get ready to embark in this epic journey as we unveil the secrets of the Dacians, this ancient civilization that once ruled these lands that now we call Romania. So, grab your imaginary time travel gear and let's go through this journey where we are gonna find out everything about the Dacians. And please, if you like this kind of video, don't forget to leave your like, to subscribe here, because it encouraged me to do more content like this. And I'm also a Romanian history lover, so I will love to tell you guys more and study more and have more discussions about this theme. Picture this, a group of awe-inspiring warriors living up to the Iron Age, which was roughly between 1000 BC and 106 AC, and these folks were the real deal, carving up the space in history with their advanced society, mind-blowing craftsmanship, and a warrior culture that could give even the fiercest of the warriors a run for their money. The Dacians built a prosperous kingdom in the heart of the Carpathian Mountains. Their society was like a well-oiled machine with various noble classes, respected priests, skilled warriors, talented craftsmen, and really hard-working farmers. Talk about a well-rounded crew, right? Now, let's talk about their skills. The Dacians were real masters of agriculture, mining, and metalworking, especially gold. Their agriculture expertise helped them to thrive, cultivating vast crops and tending to their livestock. But their real artistry could shine through their metalworking skills. Gold and silver craftsmen was their main specialty, and so they could craft intricate jewelry, ornate weapons, and dazzling ceremonial artifacts that left everyone in awe. But honestly, life wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for the Dacians. They were fierce defenders of their land, facing countless battles and resisting invaders with all their might. So there are many theories about these facts. So I'm gonna tell you about what I studied, but nothing is exactly for sure. This was a very mysterious ancient society, if you know what I mean. So apparently their biggest enemies were the Romans. The Romans had like many reasons to want the Dacian territory, but many theories say that the main reason was actually the gold that the Dacians had in their land. Unfortunately, after tenacious years of resistance, the Romans emerged victorious. The Dacian kingdom was incorporated to the Roman Empire and forever changing the course of history. And indeed, apparently, the gold of the Dacians brought the Roman Empire to a whole another level. But here is the cool part. The Dacian culture, the Dacian spirit could not be extinguished. Even under the Roman rule, elements of the culture, of the identity of the Dacians still persisted. But yeah, the Romans brought their own culture, their own language, their own religion, and their own administrative system to the region, resulting in a really beautiful blend of Roman and Dacian cultures. There are some theories that say that the Dacians learned Latin in 100 years or even less than that, so it's fascinating how a society could learn such a hard language in such a short amount of time. And it's also said that it's the fastest society in learning Latin ever existed. It's crazy, isn't it? Let's now talk a little bit about the cool and powerful leaders that the Dacians had. Maybe they were even the reason that the Dacians were so strong and remembered throughout history. Picture this: a king with a nice group of warriors, the Dacians, shaking things up in style. The star of the show, none less than Decebalus. Decebalus was a rock star king that led his army against the Romans in the 2nd century AD. This epic battle was portrayed in the Column of Trajan that now is in Rome and is super cool, but you can also see a miniature or a copy of it here in Bucharest in the museum, so it's really cool. You should go and see if you are here in Bucharest, and if you ever go to Rome you can see it like in person. Decebalus was a real badass dude, slaying on the battlefield and dropping diplomatic bombs like a pro. Talk about keeping these Romans on their toes, right? But wait, there is more. Even before Decebalus, the Dacians were already with cool kings around. So before Decebalus stole the limelight, we had Burebista, the ultimate team player. And why I say that? Because this guy united all the Dacian tribes way back in the 1st century before Christ, like a boss orchestrating a killer jam session. And let's not forget about Scorillo, the OG Dacian leader, or Decebalus' father. His story though is wrapped in mystery, a mind-blowing enigma from the pages of history. Evidence for his life and history is kind of fragmentary, so we cannot really know for sure everything in details. So kick back, grab your popcorn, and let's groove with these kings. They were like the cool kids that you would want to fight by your side if you ever get bullied at school. Today, Romania proudly carry the torch of the Dacians. Their legacy is woven into the very fabric of the country, symbolizing their rich heritage and their unbeatable spirit. Dacian mythology, art, and culture continue to inspire all of us and captivate people all over the world, allowing us to connect with our ancient past that shaped this really beautiful land. One of the most curious traditions of the Dacians is really beautiful, but somehow hard to understand today. There is this big theory that says that they used to celebrate the death and mourn the birth. It's even said that they would cry when someone would be born and they would laugh when someone was dying. This distinctive tradition can allow us to understand a little bit their worldview of the beautiful cycle of life and death. I mean, in the Dacian society, the death was seen more like a passage to another dimension or to another realm instead of the end of everything. It was considered to be a transformative and sacred event. When someone passed away, they were believing that this person was embarking in a new journey, in a new way of living, and continue their existence together with their ancestors and together with the other people that passed away. living somehow differently. To celebrate and to honor this transition, the Dacians held very elaborate funerals, rituals, and ceremonies. These ceremonies were filled with symbolism and reverence, symbolizing also the importance that the Dacians give to this transition to the other realm. These rituals often involved of offering food, drinks, and precious items which were believed to accompany the deceased into their journey of the afterlife. And during these funeral rites, they used to express their grief through music, chants, and mournful songs. They believed that by grieving and expressing their sorrow openly, they were showing respect and guaranteeing a smooth transition for the deceased to the afterward, to the afterlife, or to the next realm that the person was going to. It personally makes me think a little bit of the Romanian traditions of nowadays, of offering food, clothes, drinks, and other things to their neighbors, friends, when someone that is dear for them dies. Usually, in many countries, if someone dies, it's expected for their friends to come and offer them food, to help them with services. But here in Romania, it's a little bit different. It's inverted, it's opposite somehow. Here in Romania, there is this word called pomana, which is the term that they use for these acts of charity that people that lose their dear ones do in order to honor, to show their grief for the people that they actually lost. So back to the Dacians. In the other hand, when a child was born, the Dacians saw it as a new arrival from the spirit realm. They believed that this new baby brought with them knowledge and wisdom from their spiritual and from their ancestors, making the birth a time for reflection and introspection. Instead of celebrating it with joyful parties and things like that, they were actually having a more like sober tone, acknowledging the weight, the heaviness of that ancestral connection that the newborn carried with them. These customs provide us with a fascinating glimpse into the philosophical way of the Dacians to think, and mainly about their way of seeing the cycle of death and life. And this brings me to their religion, that I think is something that is very important to mention, because it would also help us to understand a little bit more of their culture, of their way of thinking, and how it influenced their society, and why not, how it influenced the Romanian society of nowadays. The Dacian religion was a polytheistic one, which means that they worshipped several gods. The most important god in the Romanian pantheon was called Zamolxis. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he was the god of the sun, the sky, and the god of the underworld. Other very important gods that they had in their religion included Gebelezis, the god of thunder and lightning, Bandis, the goddess of the moon and the hunt, and Derzelas, the god of healing and fertility. The Dacians actually believed that the gods were involved in all the aspects of their lives, and they would often go to consult with priests to seek guidance from the gods. And they would also offer many sacrifices to these gods, like food, animals, drinks, and who knows what else. So guys, I think this video is going way too long, and I have studied a lot. I have much more to say, but maybe we can leave it to another video because, yeah, it's way too long. If you liked it, please don't forget to leave your like, to subscribe, to comment here down below. Let me know if there is something else that you wanted to add here. Vă pup, vă iubesc, pa pa!